Right, so advanced technique number 1, we're going to have a look at the first of these techniques, which is known as the product rule. And I'm going to take you through a very simple example showing you the product rule. So what I'll do in this example is just introduce the formula that you've got to learn. Doesn't matter where it comes from, because the formula itself can be proven from first principles. And I'll apply it to a very basic question. So basic, in fact, that we can actually double check the answer using Year 12 techniques. And obviously in future videos what I'll do is I'll then do harder questions whereby Year 12 techniques don't work, and the only way to get to the answer is to use the product rule. So here we go. So let's have a look at this question. Let's say you've got y equals x multiplied by x squared plus 2, like so. So what you've got here is a function of x and another function of x, and they're being multiplied together. Now in this work that we're going to do, the first function of x is known as u of x. So u of x is just a notation. If in the past we've seen f of x. F of x stands for function of x. So for example, f of x could be x squared plus 2 or something like that. Okay, but in this case the first function x will be known as u of x. We just call it u for short. And the second function is the x squared plus 2. So that's going to be called v of x, or just v for short. So in other words, in this question, u we're going to call x, the first thing with x is in, and it multiplies by the second function, which is v. And in this case, v is x squared plus 2. Now what we need to do to be able to use the product rule says this. The product rule, which can be proven from first principles, but you don't need to prove it, you just need to learn this formula. dy by dx is the same as u multiplied by dv by dx plus v multiplied by du by dx. Now that formula there needs to be learnt off by heart and applied every single time you have a product of functions. So let's work out dy by dx, the gradient function of this starting function. We apply this formula. Well, you know what u is. U is equal to x. dv by dx. Well, we don't know what dv by dx is. So what I'm going to do is go back up here. I'll do this in green to make it stand out. We know that v was x squared plus 2, which was the second function multiplied together. So we can now work out dv by dx. So you just differentiate this thing with respect to x. So x squared becomes 2x, and the number 2 becomes 0. So dv by dx is the same as 2x. So if I now go back down to here, we had u, that was x, and it gets multiplied by dv by dx, which is 2x. So I'll put that in a bracket. So it's u dv by dx, x times 2x, plus v. Well, we know what v is. It's x squared plus 2. And that gets multiplied by du by dx. Well, again, go to the green, I'll go back, and du by dx we get from this. U is the same as x, so du by dx, if you differentiate that with respect to x, you get 1. So what I've got to do now, when I go back to the product rule formula, is take the v, x squared plus 2, and multiply it by du by dx, which is 1. So I take the v. Now, because it's two terms, I need to put it all in a bracket because I've got to multiply the whole thing by 1. Okay, so there you go. So let's just simplify this. X times 2x is 2x squared plus, and then 1 times that will be just 1 times x squared is that, and 1 times plus 2 is plus 2. And then tidy up. You've got 2x squared plus another x squared. You've got 3x squareds plus 2 as your answer. And there you go. There's a very simple application of the product rule. Now I did say to you at the start of this basic video that you could do this one because it's so easy, this question, by Year 12 techniques. So if I just move the paper up a little bit, and I'll do it by Year 12 techniques and show you that we get the same answer. So let's start again. Y equals x, x squared plus 2. And let's do this question by Year 12 techniques. Okay, well, in Year 12 you could have done this question simply by, instead of applying the product rule, you could have just expanded out the bracket. X times x squared is x to the power 3. X times plus 2 is plus 2x. So you could have done that first. And then if you want to get dy by dx, you could very simply have just used the year 12 power technique on that line. So 3 to the front, x to the power 2, plus, and then 2x differentiated become x squared. And you'll notice, obviously, that the two answers are the same. So for that particular question, there was two ways of getting to the answer, either the product rule or the year 12 technique. Now, as I say, because it's such an easy example, the year 12 technique for this question is the easiest way to do it, and that's the way I would do it given a choice. But that shows you the product rule works and gives you the same answer. And what we'll see in subsequent videos is that there are going to be examples where the year 12 technique just cannot be used, and the product rule is the only technique that will get you to the right answer. So that's the end of this video.